Right, got everything in the boot, almost. We've got a brew day on today. A very special brew day. Hey guys, Stass here, this is Dermot. We're here to do the Pulped fan fiction. This is a brew inspired by Mountain Goat's Pulp Fiction. But we're also doing kind of a System Wars thing. We've got the Robobrew V2 with the pump, and we've got the V1 Grainfather with a couple of modifications which I'll run through in a minute. I've got the Connect controller, we've got the jacket, and I've upgraded the filter from the original version as well. So we've both got 23 litres of wort, and we're going to add our brewing salts and get a brew day. We're going to hopefully track differences, similarities as we go. Before we start though, I just want to, for transparency's sake, I'm not affiliated by iMake or Robo or Keg King or Beer Co. Dermot's kindly donated the ingredients for the brew day today. We're just interested in doing a fact-finding mission to help anyone who's interested in purchasing one of these units, getting into all-grain brewing, to make an informed decision. So, anything else to add?
No, I think that's a great summation and introduction. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, mate, for kindly organising today. It's an excuse to get my brewing on, so I'm very excited and really enjoying working with Andrew here. Like we're saying, we're really interested in helping you guys and girls to, one, buy better and two, brew better. So we're testing two amazing brewing machines here today, and we're brewing a wonderful beer that we're looking forward to sharing more about that as we go through to the brew day. Thanks for joining us.
So, Grainfather and Robobrew are heating up. We've got our water additions. We've got 15 grams of gypsum, 10 grams of chalk. So while we're heating up to mash-in temp, we'll just put them in. Oh, I should say that...
so why are we adding the chalks into and the gypsum into the beer, Andrew?
Well, water chemistry is not a huge strong point of mine, but with the gypsum tends to accentuate the hop flavour and aroma, whereas the chalk helps to balance out the carbonates in the water. That's right, for the maltiness. Now, we're not going to be taking pH readings throughout the mash or brewing process. That's obviously something that you would do if you're going to take your water chemistry a little bit more seriously. I've never found the need to do it. Here in Melbourne, we've got pretty good supply of water. We have
soft water, which is great for pilsners, isn't it? And because we're brewing a hoppy beer and double IPA today, we're using some salts to help to bring out the dryness and also lower the pH, as Andrew mentioned. We did chat off camera, didn't we, about we could use a sigillated malt at addition rate of about 1% of the grist. We'll bring it down 0.1 on your pH for each percent addition, because if we were brewing in German with the Reinheitsgebot, we wouldn't be allowed to even be adding these salts. But that's a wonderful thing about being a home brewer. There's no rules. We brew for flavour and not efficiency or price or 15th century laws.
The other thing to add to that is when you're brewing, darker malts will naturally lower the pH by themselves. We've got a fairly light grain bill. Well, do you want to run through what the grain bill is?
That's a great call, Andrew. So we're using 2.9 kilos of Gladfield American Ale malt, which is a similar malt to a US 2-row, very light, not too much malt character. We've added, so it's about 40% of the grist. We've also added the same equivalent amount of Gladfield Vienna malt, which will give us some nice nutty sweetness. We're trialling the new Gladfield Redback wheat malt today, which is going to be fun. We've put 8% into the grist, about 0.6 of a kilogram. The Redback wheat malt is essentially a crystal wheat, and the wheat will help with foam, head retention. It'll also probably add a little bit of haze, but we're not too worried about that. And we've added half a kilogram of Gladfield Shepherd's Delight, which will give us some red colour. That has a very high EBC of about 300, and that's at 7% of the grist. And then we've added Gladfield Supernova for 5%, and that's a very dry crystal malt because again we're chasing that US West Coast rye style IPA here. I think we're going to use the 001 Giga Yeast NorCal Ale as well. So yeah, like we were saying before earlier on the introduction, it's quite a heavy grist that Andrew and I have come up with here, about just on 7.5 kilograms of grain, and we're chasing a starting gravity of 18 Plato. Excellent.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Well, we're going to let these systems come up to strike temperature.
Yes,
and which is well, depends on, so Robobrew.
Yep.
It's not as an intelligent of a heating system. It's a bit more manual.
Yep.
So we're going to heat this one up to, what is it, 72 degrees?
72, that's right. Yep.
When we add the grain.
72.3,
Yeah.
be precise.
When we add the grain, that'll bring the temperature down
to 67.
Yeah, to 67 degrees, which will be our mash temperature. The Grainfather, it's got a PID, so as we mash in, it will adjust the amount of power it puts to the elements to maintain that 67 degrees. So just some subtle differences with the systems already. And
probably just a point to note, because we're using Gladfield malt, they do suggest a higher infusion mash temperature of around 66, 67%. So some people...
Degrees.
Sorry, yes, degrees. Who was drinking last night? Exactly, 67 degrees centigrade. I know that if you were looking for something lighter in body, you might want to mash lower, and because these are fully modified malts, we don't have to worry about step mashing, but we do have a mash rest or a mash out 10 minutes at 78 that we'll get to later in the brew day.
Excellent.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah.
All right. We're at temp. Sorry, I should stop clapping.
Welcome back. How are we going? 9:40?
9:40. A little bit behind schedule, but we had cleaning and stuff to do.
Exactly. That was an important thing. Do we want to touch base on the cleaning?
When we cleaned it, yes, we forgot that there was a bit of cardboard down the bottom. But, but apart from that, there was actually quite a bit of like metal shavings around the top, just little bits of things. So, you know, whenever you're getting new equipment, I know it's really exciting to get brewing, but it only takes 15 minutes or so to put a cleaning cycle of PBW. Make sure you rinse it out again as well, because you don't want those metal shavings and oil and stuff like that in your brew, because you're going to spend 5 hours or so brewing.
Or cardboard. That would have been fun if we'd brewed with cardboard on the bottom.
People would have said it's oxidised or something.
I'm getting cardboard flavours. Brewers' faults.
These are equal, correct?
Absolutely. 7.5 kilograms of quality, world's purest fine New Zealand Gladfield malt. Look at that.
Can you see that?
Yeah, we could talk about the crush and the grist, which we'll do as we pour in, shall we say. Connected to your mobile, they'll beep beep, remind you when you need to do a step, do an addition.
No.
Huh?
You know what we've done?
No? Beep beep. Ah. Brewer's mistake 101.
Now, how are we going to get out of this one?
That's a good question.
We got buckets. Can we tip it in?
Yes. Yeah, I've got... Yeah.
Oh, 23 litres?
Yes.
Don't pour any more in.
Yeah, good call. What?
So, after realising our mistake, we empty the water and the malt into the fermenter, rinse this out, and we're going to add it back in now and continue mashing in.
You want to do that on camera?
Nothing
like it.
Well, I think...
Open disclosure.
Yeah. I think the more experience you get when you homebrew, it doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. It just means you tend to not panic and throw the towel in when you do make a mistake.
Good man. All gone?
That's it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Andrew. Good spotting, my friend. That would have caused us a lot more issues later on, wouldn't it? We were just talking about that.
Yeah, there is a false bottom on the Robobrew, which the Grainfather doesn't have. So the Robobrew kind of has two false bottoms, one at the bottom of the malt pipe and one to protect the pump.
Would that affect our water that we need, do you think, for mashing in? Well, I guess we're going to see a little bit more, less water movement around the malt on top of the false bottom.
Yeah.
Like I'm noticing that's getting pretty viscous already. Did we use a water to grist ratio of 3 to 1, didn't we, roughly?
I think I'm using the Grainfather profile that I use for the Robobrew.
Yeah.
And I think that grain to
23 litres, wasn't it, for 7.5 kilos?
I think it's 2.7
Okay.
litres per kilo.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do want to have it like, I find, kind of a thick porridge.
Yep.
And
this is good. We've got enough movement around the grain occurring, but it certainly is. I've often just rule of thumb, I think, is 3 to 1 water to grain. That's what I've used in the past, and I've just been brewing on the Crown Urn.
Yep. So this is your first time brewing on the
Robobrew with pump. Hence, beginners homebrewer 101 mistakes there, where I've got to put the malt pipe in. The enthusiasm to mash in was so high.
Yeah, you can see how thick this
I'm going to
grain
have
is
to add a bit more water, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
So this is the difference in malt pipe volume.
Yep.
The Grainfather can do up to 9.
Wow.
Just shy of 9 kilos.
Yep.
I think the Robo can do, I think we're going to be pushing...
I think we're pushing it to a limit here, Andrew. Maybe 8 kilos would be the max. I don't think you could go any higher than that. We've got the pipe at its full extension.
I reckon if we kind of start recirculating, it might help.
Yep. And then we might just add another litre or 2 of water in there. I'd rather have a little bit too much than too little. I'll go and get some more water.
We're just trying to get a little bit more water on top.
Okay, I'll start with 1, and then we'll. I think your recirc has certainly helped, Andrew. I guess the other thing is I can't go too high, can I? Because I don't want to go over that malt pipe.
No.
So that might be me. That's an interesting observation I think we've picked up, because I was just thinking there when Andrew mentioned about the extra false bottom and the Robobrew with pump, that that will come in very handy at sparging and lautering time. But yeah, obviously it's going to restrict you if you love your big, heavy, hoppy beers, your double IPAs, your imperial IPAs, and you love to use grain, don't want to use dextrose or sugar to get up there. You're probably going to find the Grainfather has the nudge on you.
You can always substitute out a kilo or 2 of base malt.
That's true.
Dry malt.
Dry malt extract, yeah, which is very common when...
I've done that with Russian Imperial Stout.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
Or you just make half batches.
Yes, yeah, multiple mashing.
So yeah, you can see, I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is the Robobrew. This is the Grainfather. Looks very similar. We've got a little bit more headspace on the Grainfather than the Robobrew. As I said, the malt pipe is sitting higher, so we don't have as much capacity in the malt pipe. But we're going to put the lids on and start recirc. We need to cut a bit of silicon for the Robobrew. Yeah, so we're here with back to the brewer.
We're back with the brewer.
You know more about this than me.
Yeah, it's just basically going back to the original steamer, but tweaking it, making it a little bit more special since it's the 20th birthday.
Yep.
Nice, awesome, fresh cop 2017 Galaxy, which is the oils are through the roof.
Yeah, we were just...
The alphas are through the roof, so...
Really nice. 15.9% alpha acids out of Galaxy this year, and like Alana was saying, 2.3 mils per 100 grams of oils.
Pretty good.
And
yeah, so it was just it's a bit more of a special steamer, basically.
Yeah.
Super juicy, easy to drink.
I'm pretty sure the Grainfather wants us to stop drinking and start brewing. One of the things I must say, Alana, I love about your special edition crossbreeds, inbreeds, and back to the brewers is you're always very generous with listing all the ingredients. So this one was obviously Melbourne water.
Yep.
Beer is 95% water.
Yep.
Gladfield Pilsner and Gladfield wheat malts, which is giving us a lovely haze as well. And all Australian hops you mentioned.
All Australian hops with that collab with HPA.
Yeah.
So Australian Cascade, the flowers that was another
Awesome. Cones.
nice flowers.
Yep. Yeah, wow.
And then this super juicy
Galaxy. And the Cal Common yeast.
Yep.
Which is
just something different there, sort of still bringing that steam old piece in it.
It's got a real slight tardiness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's got a it's a really soft, mellow backbone, isn't it? And a sharp bitterness. Oh yes, yeah. You've hit your mission to brew something in balance that's dangerously drinkable here.
How big is it?
7.3%. You wouldn't know it. It tastes like a steam ale.
Yeah.
And I guess for many, home brewer, pro brewer, craft beer drinker, the original steam ale from Anchor in America, that was probably one of the original craft beers, wasn't it? 1972.
Doing something different. Which created something drinkable.
Exactly.
But it was different. It was out of style, I suppose, if you could say it.
And a bit of flavour.
A bit of fun.
Yeah.
Which is what beer's supposed to be.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun.
But yeah, this is a lovely beer. Back to the brewer. And remember, these beers, I guess, the other thing we should let everyone know is these beers probably are supposed to be drunk fresh, aren't they?
Oh, super fresh, yeah. That's the key.
Yeah. And they're one-offs.
Get it, drink it.
Get it. Yeah.
Get it, drink it.
Get a couple, I would say. This would be good too as a gift beer if you've got friends who love beer for Christmas, if you can hold on to it that long.
Yeah, I had a friend who I sent a double IPA to.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll keep it in the fridge. I'm going to save it for a special customer.
Yeah.
No, drink it now. Drink it now.
Yeah,
the
good
key
call.
to anything with big hops is to drink it fresh. Keep it fresh.
Cool. Yeah.
Don't, because the hops will, obviously fall away. And the beer won't be what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Drink it.
Drink it the way the brewer intended.
Yep.
Would this be available at the Goat Bar in Richmond?
Yes. It should be available on tap and in bottle.
Wow,
cool.
Awesome. Because I'd be interested to taste. Did you pasteurise the bottles? You'd have to, I guess, do you? No?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
We
Fantastic.
don't do any pasteurisation at Mountain Goat
that's
at
interesting.
the Richmond Brewery.
Oh, great.
So all the products we produce in kegs and the rare breeds, they're not pasteurised.
So I could call this a NEPA then.
Yeah. A lot of people are. A lot of people are.
Yeah. Well, it's a lovely beer.
It's a cheeky NEPA.
Yeah, and quite a to your three tips to home brewers. It is quite a clean, simple recipe, isn't it? So this is something probably a home brewer could get a bottle of now and then have a play at home and try and brew their own.
And just let those ingredients shine.
Excellent. Thanks, Alana. What a great gift to bring. You're welcome any time at Becco.
No worries.
Cool.
Cheers, Andrew. That was great. Cheers, Alana.
See the two samples. The one on the right is the one from the Grainfather. The one on the left is the one from the Robobrew. You can see there's an awful lot more trub in the Grainfather one. Now, that's probably because it came out warmer, but the clarity seems to be better in the Grainfather, interestingly enough. Let's have a look at the gravity. As traditional, let's have a taste. It's a bit murky since I pulled the hydrometer out.
This is the Robobrew with pump version. We were commenting before, we don't think the clarity's as good as the Grainfather, and a little bit less true, but no, oh look, we're not far off. We were targeting 1072, and it looks like we've hit 1070. So
yeah, that's about. Well, I think mine was 1069.
Okay, well that's good. They're both similar in terms of their performance and the numbers. Okay, in terms of
not a lot of smell,
tasting, not a lot of aroma. We'll get that when we get into our dry hopping. That's lovely. Good bitterness already, isn't it?
It's got a real nutty,
lovely crystal nutty sweetness. It's probably the beginner malt giving that nutty sweetness, but I'm really
just getting a subtle orange, but like the sweetness is overpowering it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm looking forward to watching this one unfold because I'm pretty happy with the colour too. I think once we see that settle in the fermenter, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Considering it's fresh out of the fermenter.
Cheers.
Well, fresh out of the kettle, not even in the fermenter yet. Cheers.
Fresh into the fermenter.
Now, I'm really looking forward to sharing this finished beer with you, Andrew, in 4 to 6 weeks' time.
Should be good.
Excellent. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Join us again soon.